Hybrid for us means performance, modern and efficient.
I am convinced that our new Panamera can demonstrate where the e-performance strategy of the future is headed. Very sportily hybridized and ready for e-fuels.
E-fuel ready.
Hybrid drivetrains are inherently nothing new for Porsche. Already in 1900, the loaner Porsche Semper Vivus combined a combustion engine with a battery in the underbody and an electrically powered front axle. In the 2000s, we once again took up the ideas for electrifying our vehicles. In 2010, the first 911 GT3R hybrid clocked up success as endurance car on the racetrack. At the same time, the first serial models hit the road in 2010 and 2011, coming to market in the Cayenne and Panamera model lines. They were trailblazers in their respective segments, with significantly reduced average consumption. The next generation of hybrid vehicles followed in 2013 and 2014. These were the plug-in hybrids Panamera SE Hybrid and Cayenne SE Hybrid, which for the first time also provided an external charging function. The next major milestone was the 918 Spider, our absolute hypercar, and at the same time a plug-in hybrid. Hitting the racetrack at the same time was the 919 Hybrid, our race car that won Le Mans 3 times in a row. All of these experiences taken together flow into our new e-performance strategy. E-performance means that it is a performance component in the hybridization of the vehicles, so that the most powerful derivative in the Panamera model line is a plug-in hybrid, the Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid. We are pursuing this e-performance strategy successfully in the markets since 2017.
Our aim at Porsche is clear. We want to thrill our customers. We want to fulfill dreams of a lifetime. That drives us and is our passion. Today, as well as yesterday, the key purchasing reason for customers is our brand. Over the years, our brand continually moved forward, just as customer requirements and our target groups keep developing further. Our brand fuses tradition with a pioneering spirit, and our drivetrain strategy is consistently geared towards that aim. Today, we offer our customers a triad of petrol engines, electrified athletes, and dynamic plug-in hybrids. The new hybrid Panamera models constitute another milestone here. Especially in Europe, these plug-in hybrids are gaining ever more popularity. Registration numbers in Europe saw around 138,000 vehicles with a plug-in hybrid engine over the first 3 quarters of 2020, which is a substantial plus of 368% over the previous year. In Europe, hybrid models are the type of electrified vehicle registering fastest growth. At Porsche, we counted on this technology early on, as we were the first manufacturer to provide plug-in hybrids in 3 premium segments at the same time. This early action pays off today, as 10% of all Porsche cars delivered worldwide are meanwhile hybrids. In Europe, it's almost 1 in 5. The Panamera contributes significantly to this high proportion. Worldwide, 22% of the delivered Panamera are hybrid, more than every 5th vehicle. In Europe alone, 61% of the Panameras delivered came with this technology on board. Also in the other worldwide regions, we are fascinating our customers with the electrified sports sedan. In China, demand for Porsche's hybrid models keeps climbing over the years. In 2020, we managed to deliver 11% of the Panamera model line as hybrid.
The new Panamera family has 3 hybrid members now. The all-new Panamera 4SE Hybrid closes the gap between the Panamera 4E Hybrid and the Turbo SE Hybrid. All 3 models are available market-specific in the 3 body forms as Sport Sedan, as executive version with the longer wheelbase, or Sport Turismo for even more everyday usability. The further development of the Panamera hybrid models focused especially on intensifying the electric driving experience. To this end, we integrated a new high-voltage battery and also enhanced the drive modes. We also took further steps with the electromechanical brake booster to improve dosage and feedback. Because the principal concept of the Panamera's plug-in hybrid has proven itself, we are holding on to it and continuing to optimize it further. It is based on the front-mounted combustion engine with a 2.9-liter V6 or a 4.0-liter 4.8 configuration, both twin turbocharged. The 8-speed dual-clutch transmission is flange-mounted accordingly, while the heart of the Panamera plug-in hybrids, the electric motor, is fully integrated into the gearbox. The electric motor can generate up to 100 kilowatts and provides up to 400 newton-meters of torque. The e-motor is fed by a high-voltage battery that is fitted space-savingly underneath the trunk floor. This arrangement at the same time optimizes the weight distribution of the vehicle. This principal concept gives us the basis for the outstanding driving performance of all of our plug-in hybrid cars. The bandwidth of the 3 Panamera hybrid models is truly enormous, which is also borne out by the technical data. System output now stretches all the way from 462 horsepower, 560 horsepower, to 700 horsepower. Particularly impressive are, once more increased performance data of the top model, the Turbo SE Hybrid. It generates 870 Newton-meter torque, accelerates in 3.2 seconds from 0 to 100, and has a top speed of 315 kilometers per hour.
The new Panamera combines performance and comfort as never before. I am convinced, therefore, that this car and its attractive derivatives will continue to thrill in Europe, Asia, and the other parts of the world. No matter where you look in the world, the Panamera plug-in hybrid models convince not only our own customer base, but are an entry point for many customers into our brand. 65% of those buying an entry or S model are new customers, while for the Turbo, over every third is a new customer. What's more, the Panamera hybrid models are particularly appealing to younger target groups. At around 47 years, the Panamera customers are significantly younger than those of comparable luxury class vehicles. We are also increasingly enthusing women for it, with around a fifth of worldwide customers being female. We also see demand increasing here over the coming years.
Next to the performance of the Panamera hybrid models, efficiency is equally important. The 4E hybrid is especially efficient on the road. According to the WLTP EAER City Cycle, it manages up to 56 kilometers, which equals around 64 kilometers in the NEDC. Basis for this range increase of up to 30% is the new high-voltage battery, whose capacity went from 14.1 to 17.9 kilowatt-hours. At the same time, the size of the battery did not increase. However, so that everyday usability and trunk capacity were not prejudiced by its bigger range. Emission-free mileage can be further extended by saving or even regaining additional energy through coasting or recuperating. These optimizations are essentially due to the new drive modes. Drive modes are activated via the drive mode switch on the steering wheel. The switch activates the 4 key modes entitled E-Power, Hybrid Auto, Sport, and Sport Plus. 2 additional modes can be activated via the PCM only, which are E-Hold and E-Charge. Especially the Hybrid Auto mode has seen significant further development. During inter-city and cross-country trips, it will always calculate the optimum and the operating strategy between 2 drive systems. To this end, it will use information points from the route guidance, the actual speed, as well as the remaining mileage range of the battery. It will opt for pure electric driving whenever it makes most sense for overall efficiency. The hybrid auto mode will likewise adjust to its operating strategy when the car is heading to a navigation destination. It will then focus on driving emission-free in urban settings, for example, electrically, and will use those sections of the trip when the combustion engine is active to charge the battery accordingly. In those modes during which the battery is being charged, for example, in Sport, Sport Plus, and eCharge, the system now operates more efficiently and faster. Maximizing charging capacity during driving has been increased to 12 kilowatts, while it is also being secured that the battery is charged up to a maximum of 80%. A full 100% charging of the battery will now only take place when it is connected to power socket. The efficiency of a plug-in hybrid vehicle depends not merely on personal driving styles, but very much more on charging behavior. Thus, it is highly sensible to charge a plug-in hybrid regularly at home. With its serial equipment on board, a Porsche Panamera can be charged at every domestic power socket or high power socket. If connected to a high power socket with a maximum of 7.2 kilowatt, a full battery charge takes just 2.5 hours. Yet even the connection to a standard domestic power socket will have the battery fully charged within 8.5 hours. What is particularly important to me is that this means every Panamera can be charged at any domestic power socket with its standard charging equipment, and thus enables full utilization of its efficiency potential. The Mode 3 cable enables also the use of public charging stations, while the Porsche Connect app will allow to monitor and manage the charging process. The app can also be used to control the stationary air control system that comes as standard. In this case, the high-voltage battery will heat up or cool down the car electrically. All hybrid models benefit from the latest improvements to the new Panamera. Thus, they came with the new model-specific front and rear apron, as well as the new continuous light band at the rear. Available also are 3 new wheels in 20 and 21-inch format, as well as 2 new exterior colors. The Porsche communication management has been fully reworked and now comes with higher resolution displays, above all new functions and digital services, and an online connection that has been significantly enhanced. Chassis and control systems in the Panamera have seen significant reworking, allowing us to realize substantially more comfort and a higher performance of the car. The new steering wheel is another such element thereof.
Our customers know that for Porsche hybrids, they are everything but a renunciation. On the contrary, hybrid for us means modern and efficient performance.
In summary, the new Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid is once again the top model at the peak of performance, while the new Panamera 4S Hybrid logically rounds out the product portfolio and shows the path ahead of the e-performance strategy. All plug-in hybrids benefit from the new battery with a significantly higher range and mileage and the further developed drive modes for a significantly more intensive electric driving experience. I am convinced that our new Panamera and the extended hybrid offer really positions us for the future, and we can demonstrate where the e-performance strategy of the future is headed. Thanks to the new battery, our new plug-in hybrids offer around 30% more electric drive range, so that one can drive locally with zero emissions. If you charge the battery exclusively with green renewable electricity, the E-mode will let you drive almost CO2 neutral. In the future, those sections driven with the combustion engine could also be made more eco-friendly and sustainable when so-called e-fuels are used. These are synthetic fuels produced with electric power from renewable energy sources, hydrogen and carbon dioxide. The hydrogen is made from water via electrolysis, while the CO2 is taken directly from the air. In the first step, this hydrogen and CO2 will then be made into so-called e-methanol, which will then be processed into e-fuel in another synthesis step. The fuel so gained can be used in all petrol engines. Because the production of e-fuels uses only renewable electricity, and as the combustion of the e-fuel in the engine generates only as much CO2 as was taken from the air during production, the entire production chain is almost CO2 neutral. When we talk about e-fuels, we have to take a look first at the availability of renewable energies, not only in Germany, but globally. The global distribution of solar and wind energy is very uneven, and in our main markets in China, Europe, and USA, their energy input is rather small. The best sites for the generation of electric energy from wind power are to be found down in the very south of South America and the Himalayas. Here, full load hours reach the level of utilization efficiency that are the highest values worldwide for renewable energy generation plants. Wind power plants are substantially more efficient than solar power plants. Wind-rich Patagonia, for example, reaches the highest utilization efficiency for wind energy. Comparing the sites in Germany with those in Patagonia shows that due to the lower energy input in Germany, only around 18% of the theoretic maximum usage potential of all wind and solar plants in Germany taken together can be actually utilized. That equals 66 days of full load capacity. In the south of South America, on the other hand, a wind power plant produces renewable energy at 270 days per year. The utilization efficiency is this 74%, 4 times as much as in Germany. In those regions with high energy input, the energy demand is often very low, however, as they have very few cars and hardly any industry. Consequently, the energy must be transported across huge distances, which is achieved through its conversion into chemical energy carriers. In the form of e-methanol, made from green hydrogen and e-fuels, such sustainably generated energy can be transported as liquid across long distances to be made utilizable. Ultimately, vehicles with a combustion engine, such as the 911, will have a comparable overall efficiency as electric drivetrains, despite the lower drivetrain efficiency of combustion engines. Bearing this in mind, let's take a look at Porsche's drivetrain strategy. It rests on 3 pillars. Top priority goes to electric mobility, while the second pillar are our efficient plug-in hybrid drives. They combine the best of 2 worlds, locally zero-emission driving capacity with unlimited long-haul capability. For our highly emotional sports cars, such as the 911 for example, or for motorsports, we will continue to count on ultra-efficient combustion engines with the perspective of having them very sportily hybridized and ready for e-fuels. The CO2 footprint of the 3 drive variants, all the way from production through to usage and recycling, leaves a very diverse balance, as per today, where fossil fuels predominate. With the exclusive usage of renewable energy carriers, the CO2 balance of the drive variants will adjust itself substantially. This will open up the possibility of choosing the best-suited drivetrain for the individual deployment purpose without the need for a bad conscience. To this end, Porsche is collaborating with worldwide active partners to industrialize almost CO2-neutral fuels. Going forward, these are to be made available competitively in all markets. Not to replace e-mobility, but to flank it effectively. This applies to all those areas and markets where the transformation of the traffic sector is proceeding at a speed below the one required to reach the Paris climate targets and required for the protection of the environment.